What's up, fellow YouTubers? So it's currently 43 degrees outside. Wind chill makes it feel like 34. And, well, I hopped on my chopper bike and rode to the closest grocery store I could find. Now, pretty much every grocery store here in town is a good grip away from my apartment. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a ride one way or another. But that's alright, because I wanted to do a fun little holiday recipe. A lot of people have company coming over for the holidays and maybe they want to try something new. People get tired of fruitcake. I'm just being real with it. I mean, I'm sure it's good, but not when it's like hard as a rock. So we're gonna So what I want to do is I want to make some Christmas eggnog bread. It's real easy. Only needs like 3 ingredients. Well, 4 if you count the oven. But let's see what we got at the grocery store. Now, I already have 2 tubes of pre-made dough. Oh, shit. I should have gotten pizza sauce. I knew I was forgetting something. That's alright. That's quite alright. I can get pizza sauce later. I'm not tripping out about it. I got stuff to make burgers, and that'll do just fine. I don't have to eat the pizza right away. But anyways, let's see what I got. They're out of pre-made beef patties in like the packages, so I basically got different styles of beef to try. But we start off with our delicious thick cut bacon from Black Label. That's good shit right there. Over from the Hormel Company. Yeah, buddy. Pepperonis. And we got beef patties like this, like 4 per container, which these aren't too bad. Yeah, they look good. I mean, right here it says ground beef patties, grass-fed, 4 1/4 lab patties. Right there. So, and we also got a big old tube of ground beef. So if we want to form the patties by hand, we can. Delicious bacon. Thick cut bacon where it's at. Let's see what else we got. We're going to need some bread for our sandwiches. Boom. Right there. A nice bag of nacho cheese Doritos. Some spicy pork grinds. Now I'll be using these spicy pork grinds for a crazy ass burger later on my channel. I mean, we got 2 crazy new burgers coming on the channel. I am going to try to use some of this bread that I make for a burger. That'll be nuts, but we'll see if we can pull it off. Now, part of our ingredients, we're definitely going to need eggnog for our eggnog bread. So we got some eggnog. They were just about out at the store because this right here is a hot item around the holidays. A lot of people like eggnog around the holidays, especially when you're making Tom and Jerry's, which is eggnog's been warmed up and then a shot of Bacardi rum. And of course, we're going to need some self-raising flour. This stuff's awesome. Gotta have that pepperoni and cheese game on stack. Because not only can you use that cheese to make pizza, but you can also use it for your burgers, to make cheeseburgers. That's called killing 2 birds with 1 stone. And this is the 3rd ingredient we're going to need for the ice cream bread, which is ice cream, of course. We got some Breyers mint chocolate chip. What's this? We got 1 more bag. Look at that. Gotta go with the classics. Pizza Pringles, man. That's good stuff. And what in the world? Something I'll be using for a burger challenge in the next couple of days or so is this. This is the Horosco hot sauce. I've seen this hot sauce on Hot Ones. I recognize that kick-ass looking logo. And it's been a while since I've had some hot sauce in my fridge, so this stuff looks pretty spicy. Oh jeez. This stuff looks mean. I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking at the back label like, ooh. So I'm not gonna need a whole lot for the burger for this to kick. I just look at the label. That should tell you. This is something for a different cooking video. This one, we're just going to focus on making that delicious ice cream bread. Now the advantage of this camera is I can at least show you how to mix up a couple of things. It's really not that difficult. But I'll go ahead and mix it real quick. There's all the ingredients we're going to need. We're going to need this one first. This one will come in a second. It'll come after we mix the ingredients up. You gotta mix them up in a bowl first. Yeah, buddy. That's not very much food, but it's enough to tide me over, so I'm not complaining. And to be honest, that was almost $100. For being quite frank, I mean, the things like bacon, you know, tend to be a bit more expensive, but I like bacon, so. So we got some International Delight Nog Classic. Different brands of eggnog to try. This recipe doesn't really require a specific brand and flavor of eggnog. I mean, you could probably use whatever eggnog you wanted. It wouldn't matter. But this is just a classic sort of. We'll make sure it passes the test before we mix it. Gotta try a little bit of it. Yeah, that tastes like eggnog. That's actually not bad. Natural and artificial flavors. There you go. All right. So we should probably throw in our dry ingredients first. So before we get into any of that, let's save ourselves some time on the cooking recipe. Go ahead and open up this delicious mint chocolate chip ice cream from Breyers. I reckon the cold bike ride home kept it nice and frozen. There we go. Having the right tools for the job. This pocket knife definitely made short work of that plastic on the ice cream. You don't need that. I need something to mix it with, and a fork will do just fine. I mean, we need something to like spread it out and kind of, you know. You need a bloody fork to spread it in the cake or the bread dish pan, whatever you want to call it. Alright, so, and you also need a fork to mix it. So, first things first, you're going to want some self-raising flour. Something of which I might add is made from Mother Earth. So I'm going to try to get this flour open without making a huge mess. There we go. Now if you take your time and do it right, there we go, just like that. Now see, there is a small tear in it. It's right there, but it's not all the way down here. There is a small tear right here, but it's not all the way down here, so this will make this a little bit easier. So we got a mixing bowl and 1/2 cup and dry ingredients first. Into the bowl. So 1/2 cup plus 1/2 cup makes a whole cup. So maybe like 1 1/2 cup should be just enough. Now when you're making this kind of bread, YouTube, you want it to be nice and doughy. And alright, so set that aside for a second. And then we're going to use our eggnog that we just bought and go ahead and pour some in there. Measure it out just right here. There's 1/2 cup. Do the same amount for the eggnog. We might add like a little bit more flour to it just so it's more doughy. But if you have this plop of a mess so far, you're off to a good start. I'm going to set this on the table. For a second. Now at this point, we can also make some room here. I don't have a whole lot of workspace to work with, but I'm working with it. Okay, so now we're going to add some ice cream to it. Now we're going to add some ice cream to it. Now, there's the top of the lid with all the ice cream stuck on the inside. And of course, here is a close-up of that delicious mint chocolate chip ice cream from Breyers. Look at that. Now, isn't that just pretty? It seems like I'm the one cooking it. I gotta grab a small sliver of it and see how it tastes. Yep, that's good. It's got a nice minty taste to it. The chocolate chips add a little bit of sweetness to it. That's not too shabby. So I'm going to set the lid down on top of the cup on top of the lid here while we do this. And, oop, that was close. Glad that landed in the bowl, not on my desk. Yeah. Now, a step I forgot to do was microwave the ice cream so it's nice and melted. This will make stirring it a little bit easier, but that's alright. I'm going to put some ice cream in here and I'll microwave it for like a little bit just to get the ice cream on the surface melted. Then it'll make it easier to stir around. Now hopefully the chocolate will melt into the bread and kind of give it a little bit of sweetness to go with the eggnog. I'm kind of eyeballing it here. There we go. That should be enough. Oh yeah, that should be plenty of ice cream for that. Mmm. Although just to be on the safe side. Just to be on the safe side. Yeah, get in there. Mm. Alright, so a good portion of that is taken out, not too much. And of course I got pipe ash all over my hands while I'm making this, but who cares? So this ice cream is pretty chunky and frozen, so if we hit it in the microwave for like a little bit, it'll melt it, and then eyeball it from there and start mixing it after we nuke it in the microwave for a little bit. And if it needs more flour, we'll add a pinch more, you know. I'll be right back, and I'll put the fork and the measuring cup in the sink. We'll mix the ingredients together with a clean fork. We'll be somewhat sanitary with it, I guess. Eggnog can go in the fridge too. There's definitely enough eggnog in that. At this point, you have all this right here. Now, the ice cream's gonna melt when you hit it when you put it in the microwave. So we'll do that real quick. We don't want to do this too long, just long enough to melt the ice cream. Now comes the best part of it. Besides eating it, I reckon you gotta mix it up. Now the ice cream's nice and it's a little bit softer. It's easier to work with. So this is gonna take some time. I'm not gonna fast forward it like a lot of YouTubers. What you see is what you get. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix all that melted ice cream and that eggnog and the self-raising flour, and we're gonna mix it around, incorporate all the ingredients. Might need to add just a little bit more flour to that. 1 second. Okay, I grabbed a clean cup. This is a 1/3 cup. It don't matter at this point now. Just adding a little bit in it at a time until we get that consistency. And the nice thing about this recipe is it's really, really, really simple. It doesn't require you to be a 5-star chef. Some fancy smanchy, you know. Oh, yay, look at me. No, this recipe is super easy to make. I think adding a surface of flour to that top layer and mixing it in, now it's starting to get a lot more doughy. That's what I like to see. I'll show you. After adding that 1/3 cup of flour there on the top and just kind of mixing it around, it's getting more and more and more doughy. You don't want it to be too terribly doughy, but doughy enough that it forms a decent bread. That almost landed on the floor. Huh. I got it on my black pants. Classic. Yeah, no one said cooking wasn't going to be messy. Fair warning. I mean, look at that. Yeah. I'm just glad I didn't hit the floor. Then I'd be like, well, shit. But, yeah, let's add a pinch more flour to it there. That should do it. Mix that up in there and see how doughy it gets. Truth be told, this might be enough batter to make more than one loaf. We'll see how it. Oh yeah, that's what I like to see. It's nice and doughy, but it's not too doughy, and it's getting harder and harder to mix. Awesome sauce. So we're definitely done with the flour. You put the flour in the measuring cup in the sink. Okay, YouTube, we're back, and after adding that last bit of flour to it, and just mix it around. Gotta mix it real good. Now you can see in the bowl that all that flour and eggnog and that ice cream have mingled together, and now you got this really nice, really thick dough. It's a test. That's how you know your dough is ready to be poured into your baking dish. Now, but for this next part, I am going to wash my hands because, well, you know, it's YouTube and people are finicky, like, oh my god, he's got tobacco ash all over his hands while he's making that. Oh, so gross. He calls that a cooking video? That's nasty. Everyone's a critic. Join the peanut gallery. Unless you have a peanut allergy, then don't join. Oh, wait. I'm not gonna lie, that looks and smells kind of good. I mean, it smells like eggnog and peppermint, like you could just stick a candy cane in a glass of eggnog. This is the soap I'll be using to wash my hands. Not that it matters. Because there may be some people who are going to be like, I don't believe you washed your hands. Right. Oh, that sounds kind of disturbing. Just kidding, that wasn't appropriate. Now, you could just use cooking spray on your baking tin, and the reason why you want to do that is so your bread doesn't stick to your pan. But I got some butter I can use because that's tastier. So after washing my hands and drying them, I'm going to go over to the test kitchen. I'm going to go over to the test kitchen and we're going to grab some of this Country Crock original butter spread, and I'm going to take the tray that we have here for our bread and we're going to line the outside of it and the bottom of it on the inside here with butter. That way this delicious looking ice cream bread doesn't stick to the pan. Country Crock ready to rock. So you get like a little bit of that butter on your fork. You see what I'm doing here? I'm just taking it and spreading it on the inside of the pan. Real easy like. This will prevent it from sticking to the side. And this step's important because when you go to take your ice cream bread out of the oven and go to cut it off the plate or out of the tin or whatever, you don't want it falling apart and sticking, making a huge mess. Now, ice cream bread can fall apart if you're not careful. So when you take it out of the oven, let it cool off, and then kind of take a knife and go around the edge and just gently pop it out. And you should have a loaf that you can just slice into pieces. So right now I'm getting it all over the bottom of the pan as well. That's important. You want nice, even coverage of that butter. Just spread it all on the inside. I definitely think this pan is sufficiently greased. What do you think? Yeah, that looks pretty good. Alright, so I'm going to put this back and this to the side. And this next part, why not? Give it some sweetness. kind of cut the peppermint kind of eggnog taste with a little bit of sweetness. There we go. A little bit more. Put a little bit of brown sugar in there because the eggnog is probably going to have cinnamon in it. So there we go. Just a pinch of that in there in the middle. And then once more, we're going to take that mixing fork and we're going to swirl and mix that final ingredient in there just like that. I'm watching it sit here and rest for a second. It's definitely nice and doughy. Ooh, that sounds interesting. It smells interesting. There's a sweetness with the brown sugar and then a mintiness with the ice cream, and then you smell the eggnog, and it just smells interesting. I don't know how it's going to taste, but we're about to find out. Simple, easy to make holiday bread. Doesn't require a whole lot of ingredients. Alright, so now we're going to take our buttered up bread pan and we're going to pour the mixture into the bread pan. I'm going to do this on my lap so you can see. Hopefully it won't spill. We got this. Alright, this isn't going to take too terribly long. I'm just going to hold it over the pan. Oh yeah, there we go. Turn it to the side so that way you don't spill it, just like that. And of course, I'm getting flour all over my pants, but that's alright. That's the fun of cooking, making a little bit of a mess. This is actually enough batter to make one loaf. It just looks like a lot because of how liquidy the ingredients are, but once you actually mix it, it shrinks. And I got a little bit of batter on my pants. Oh geez. So yeah, I managed to make a little bit of a mess on my pants making this, but that's alright. And don't get it twisted. It's exactly what it sounded like, you sickos. And now you want to make sure you get as much of the batter off of the bowl as you can. I mean, there's going to be a lot of it that sticks to the side of it. You're not going to be able to get all of it, but just get as much of it as you can into your buttered up container. And you're definitely going to want to let this soak in the sink. Put a little bit of soap and hot water. Let it soak overnight. It'll make it easier to clean when you go to wash it out. And hopefully, if I can get this to be a nice clean loaf, where I can actually cut slices, I'll make a burger with this, using this bread as a bun. I think I'm playing. I totally do it. Yo, hold on a minute. Oh, dude. I gotta try to send this batter out. Hold on a second. Just to make sure it's good. When I taste the batter, that's generally what you're gonna get when you bake it. when it comes out, that's what it's genuinely going to taste like. And well, if I'm still licking the bowl, then that's how you know this is going to be some good bread. Righteous. Here's that. Yeah, we're definitely going to need to get these wiped off. Hold on a second. Let's get that off the side real quick. A little bit of soap. So our mixing bowl can soak overnight. Some water. Now before I freaking preheat the oven and all that good I'm gonna have to get this dealt with. Like there seems to be a little situation with my pants. I mean that just doesn't look right. I'm sitting here wiping this. Yeah, no, I don't even want to go there. Plus, you see people buying jeans for $400, and they look like this. I mean, if they got holes in them, they're covered in paint, so. Okay, so we got a little bit of this stuff right here. I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit more sugar on top just to give it a nice little effect. Let's see, bake 420, baby. Go ahead and bake it in the oven for like 420 degrees for how long? Just till it's toothpick clean. You can always check on it periodically. That way, you know, once it comes out fork clean, then I can pull it out of the oven. This will make for a nice presentation. Well, if I like the taste of the batter, then that's how I know that this actually might be pretty good. I don't know, this will make it look prettier on camera when I take it out of the oven. Like, oh, look at that. Oh, that's going to caramelize on top when it bakes into it. Booyah. Oh. Well, I guess while we're waiting, we can find something to snack on. Oh, the oven's preheated. Look at that. I'll put it in for like 20 minutes and see how that looks. If it needs to go in longer, we'll make it longer. Now, while we're waiting for our delicious ice cream bread to bake, we could snack on some of these. You know you want it. Now, I'm not going to eat all of these because I'm going to save some for a spicy bacon cheeseburger that's coming up on my channel. It's going to involve these spicy pork grinds, a couple drops of that hot sauce, some bacon, some mozzarella cheese, a burger patty. Boom, simple enough. Yep. Oh yeah. These are some spicy pork rinds. I like these. Get a nice salty crunch. I don't know what seasoning they use to make it so spicy, but it's a good combination. It definitely works. Some of you may not be a fan of spicy just because it's kind of like the opposite of sour. It burns your mouth a little bit when you eat it. But sometimes eating spicy food helps boost your immune system. It keeps you from getting sick. Oh yeah, these are pretty good. One more. Gotta make sure I have enough for the burger challenge. Okay, one more. Them spicy pork rinds have a nice kick to them. I like that. It's not too spicy, but it's not too mild. I mean, if you want to see me do that spicy bacon cheeseburger challenge live, let me know in the comments. And I'll see what I can do. Pretty much use most of this eggnog for that recipe, but that's alright. I'm not going to drink the other carton. But I'm going to have a cup of this because this is good. Not looking too shabby after 16 minutes. After 16 minutes to go, not looking too shabby. I might need to go in longer if it's... You pull it out when it's toothpick clean. You poke a fork in it or a toothpick and all the batter stays in the bread. I bullshit you not. It's that simple. You want a festive little dessert that might taste good. I don't know, we're about to find out. But you want a festive dessert for the holidays. It's simple to make. Boom. brown sugar is definitely going to complement the cinnamon in this eggnog and the nutmeg, because I can taste the nutmeg and the cinnamon in this eggnog. Not too shabby, man. Did you know that cannabis is just as good for dogs as it is humans? Oh, yeah. I mean, you can't really drink alcohol that much with your dog, but they are coming out with edible dog treats. I'm just saying. So you sit there smoking a doobie with your dog on the couch, and you give him a dog treat, and you're all sitting there watching Scooby Doo. I mean, uh, in fact, if your dog has cancer, you can use cannabis to get rid of it. It just depends on what kind. Hmm. I'm thinking that hot sauce is going to be an ass kicker of a hot sauce. I've seen it on Hot Ones, which is a YouTube show where they eat hot wings and discuss hot topics. They'll invite a celebrity over, and it's a pretty cool show. And, well, I recognized that hot sauce label in the grocery store because I was like, I've seen that hot sauce on Hot Ones. Right the fuck on. I'm like, ooh, should I? That looks mean, dude. I'm like, why not? It's been a while since I've had a hot sauce in my fridge. I mean, Swampadelic, of course, is a classic. Swampadelic hot sauce is spicy as man. Spicier than the devil's pecker. Yeah. And that's a sauce made by Primo's Peppers. Over on Homeboy Scotty's channel, I made this hell burger that had some Primo's Peppers on it and some of the seasonings, and I cooked with Swampadelic hot sauce. Cooked it into the patty, all kinds of crazy spicy ass. Like that hell burger that I did on Scotty's channel, I did it to help boost his channel and get views. And that burger was insane, dude. It was good. You had a split second to appreciate the complex and beautiful flavor of it before it just punched you in the mouth with some mean ass heat. Although ever since I've eaten a Carolina Reaper, I'm not too fond of spicy. I mean, I still like it, but I feel like a freaking Carolina Reaper is just too much. And, you know, they make hot sauces that are 3 times spicier than a Carolina Reaper. And my answer to that is why? You know. But, yeah. Check on that bread right quick. 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes to go. It's kind of puffed up over the edge, but it's not dripping everywhere, which is good. And I'll check it when those 20 minutes are up, and we'll see how it looks. But if it needs to be put in for a bit longer, then I'll do that. But I think that should be plenty. An hour-long cooking video. How about that? Oh, he did not just reference. Don't even say it. Ice cream eggnog bread. How about that? Literally an example of people getting famous for doing absolutely nothing. Uh, Now we're gonna need a knife to cut that from. We're gonna need a knife to cut that bread from the tin. Something like this will do very, very nicely. Just have to, go around an edge, and then scoop it out. Don't demonetize me, YouTube. I'm making a cooking video. Oh. $7 minutes. That's not looking too bad, actually. That's looking really good. Oh, that was nice. The oven beeps at you when it's about to be getting close to getting done. Alright, at 7 minutes. How about that? I mean, not to be an ass, but I mean, it is kind of cool. We live in a society where you can be like, hey, Google, set a timer for blah, 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 and your oven turns on all by itself. That is kind of cool, I'm not going to lie. But at the same time, it took maybe a couple seconds extra to push the button and turn the knob, and, technology is cool, but it's no excuse to be lazy. I mean, I can see that being useful in like a situation where you have 10,000 things going on at once and you're trying to get dinner started and you don't have time to go over and push the buttons. So I guess you have Google do it for you. That's helpful to an extent, but I mean, this is the same society we live in where we have self-stirring coffee cups. Mugs that stir themselves, much like the rotary blade on one of those lollipop stickers that spin around. Yeah, same concept. I mean, I could see that being useful for people with arthritis in their wrists and they want to make hot tea or hot cocoa or hot coffee, and and they have like a little bit of creamer and they can't stir it because they have a hard time holding the spoon. So they push the button and stirs it for them. But if you're just getting that cup just because, oh, the technology's cool, yeah, I get it, but it's not that relatively new as far as technology goes. And really, it just seems like an excuse to be lazy. But what do I know? Of course, there are some people going, how did people make food before the invention of Google? And it's like, wow, you've been living under a rock, haven't you? Well, let's see, the first stove was a campfire, so, they gather these sticks and they'd stick them in a pile and light them on fire. But then we got this other thing called a stove where the same thing happened, but the campfire was underneath the stove. And then that progressed into an electric stove where they use gas to power the flame underneath the coils, which heat up. And you turn the knob to turn it on. If you're out of gas in your stove, you'd refill it. And then that progressed into what we have now, minus the super fancy high tech ones, where it's electric, no gas. You'd be surprised. There are some people who think like this, and it's like, wow. These are the same assholes who are like, how did anybody talk to each other without cell phones? And you're just like, someone's too dependent on their phone. I mean, it's gotten so bad that South Park literally made an episode called the Buddha Box. Because that's how bad people are with their smartphones. Not everyone's like that, but holy Jesus, dude. Well, it looks pretty, getting all nice and baked in the oven. It's starting to smell kind of good, I'm not going to lie. Oh, I got 2 minutes, baby. That's not looking too bad at all. It's actually looking pretty good. That actually looks really good. I'm not going to lie. It smells good, too. You can smell the eggnog. And like a hint of mint. And something sweet. Of course, whenever you're baking desserts, it's always going to smell good in your house, no matter what you're baking. It just depends on, yeah. And I think 20 minutes might be enough time for this to bake, because if I take it out and I poke it with the knife and it comes out clean, yeah, buddy. A recipe that's simple enough and doesn't require a whole lot of super advanced cooking skills to make. Because we all can't afford to go to some fancy 5-star chef trade school, graduate in 3 to 4 weeks with little to no knowledge on certain things, but then have like a bunch of recipes that you learned in like, gotta do it now, gotta do it, Isn't it weird though that whenever you see a chick make a comment about a guy liking another chick, when that chick has a husband. It's like, why the fuck do you care? You know what I'm saying? Beepity blankety blank. But you know, I'm just saying. Oh, geez, he said the F bomb. YouTube. 4, 3, 2, 1. Came in at the last 4 seconds to take it out of the oven. That's just too good. Too good timing. That definitely formed a bread. Oh, no, that's not done. Son of a bitch. That needs to go on for a little bit longer. I don't want to overcook it, so I'll do it in like 12-minute bursts. But this is definitely something you want to watch. I mean, it's not, it's simple enough. I mean, but once all that, yeah, because it was still kind of gooey when I poked the knife and pulled it out. I'm like, yeah, no, no. Well, on the surface, the bread looks really good, but now I'm just waiting for it to come out toothpick clean. Pop, play, eats. I'm not sponsored by any of the cool cobras that make these products. I'm just a loyal customer. Watch out. This is how you stack. Pringle duck lips. yeah, watch me check it periodically. That's real entertaining. This will save me some time in the burger recipe video anyways. So why not? Be very careful and let's get this bottle of hot sauce opened. Looks like Medusa on the front here, kind of this banshee looking thing on the front with flames surrounding it. I mean, so that's how you know that this hot sauce is playing no games. This hot sauce is playing no games. It's saying, I'm here, I'm spicy. You want a piece of this if you can handle it, you know. I'm not gonna lie, this hot sauce looks like it'd be a bully for your tongue. Like, straight up, man. Straight up, this hot sauce looks meaner than a rattlesnake with a toothache. But, that's alright. I went and put it up for a couple more minutes. Like 15, 14 minutes, yeah. We're going to keep doing it until it comes out clean. But while we wait, let's get this hot sauce properly opened up. There we go. We got the lid off with the plastic off of it. See, there we go. That's how a hot sauce bottle is supposed to be. It doesn't leak all over the place. Satan's Blood hot sauce is good, but that little novelty bottle they have, you knock it over, it gets all over your fridge. So while we wait for that bread to bake, I'm going to take a spicy pork rind and I'm going to put a drop of this hot sauce on that spicy pork rind. One this size is just perfect. We'll see how spicy it really is. So yeah, we got these fried pork skins, nice and hot and spicy. And we got some of this Exoresco hot sauce. Got the crazy looking Medusa chick on the front going, ah, you know. Oof. Just have a smell of it before we consume it. Yeah, just smelling it, that definitely cleared out my sinuses a little bit. Oh, fuck me, that's too much. I have no idea how spicy it's gonna be, so I don't want to do a whole lot. Call me a pussy, I don't care. Right there's a little bit on the chip. Just not a whole lot. Oh, the shit I do for YouTube's entertainment. Hmm. Hmm. Try a little bit out of the lid here. Yeah, you definitely don't need a whole lot of this hot sauce. Mm. I like it. That's good hot sauce. That's got a good flavor. It's one of those hot sauces where you don't need a whole lot to burn your mouth. I just that little bit I put on my tongue. Now my tongue's kind of numb, and I got a nice fiery, tingly sensation in my mouth. I can feel it on my scalp and a little bit on my face. So I barely put any on there, and it don't take a whole lot. This stuff's pretty mean. What caught my eye was the logo. You know, the sinister looking, this sinister looking Medusa looking shit going ah, you know. I'll go, hey, what's this hot sauce all about? That's not too bad. I thought maybe it might just, okay, yeah, there we go. That's a more respectable amount. Like your Gothic King Cobra, suck it up. There we go. There's a nice little dab on there. Look at that. Look at it. And that's still not a whole lot, but that's all you're gonna need. This hot sauce is literally blood red. Cheers. There we go. That was a nice little gob on top of that chip. Now I'm feeling it on the inside of my mouth, my forehead. Yeah. I haven't had real spicy hot sauce in a long time, but I like this. This is good. This is doable. Hmm. So you can definitely look forward to this hot sauce and these chips going on a burger sometime this week. I'll make sure that lid's on there nice and tight. I don't want it spilling hot sauce all over my fridge. That's good hot sauce. I don't want that going to waste, YouTube. 4 minutes left. I'm gonna give it about 12 more minutes. Because when I stuck the knife in there, you can see it's still a little bit gooey in the middle. It's a simple recipe, but if you make, it can take a little bit of time. Hey, that's the kind of hot sauce that makes your tongue numb, just off a couple drops. Sweet. The ice cream bread actually smells really good. But just for shits and giggles, let's put some of this hot sauce on a Pringle. Just a little bit. That's not a whole lot, but that's definitely enough. That's good hot sauce, man. Of course, the warning labels on the back say it's extremely hot. Consume with caution. Yeah, that's enough hot sauce. Holy shit. Now the back of my throat's definitely starting to feel the heat. But yeah, I'm definitely not going to eat a whole lot of this on a burger. It's really good hot sauce, but it sneaks up on you a little bit. It kind of comes in a wave almost. Pour a splash of that eggnog. There we go. Like a milk or some eggnog that'll cool your tongue off after eating spicy hot sauce. It doesn't even take that much, YouTube. Trust and believe that. A couple drops and you'll feel it, man. I'm not gonna lie, that bread does smell pretty good waffling through the apartment. But yeah, I can feel the heat all over my tongue. The inside of my mouth is just fire. I can feel it in my sinuses all throughout. Last time I got some super spicy hot sauce, I put a shit ton of it on a chip. Now, I had no idea how spicy it was going to be, so I gauged it. I did a little bit at first, and ooh, the bread will definitely cool off inside of my mouth for sure when it's done baking. Oh, that's manageable. Or maybe YouTube, my palate to spicy food is a bit more, not like pepper junkie status, but halfway below that. Man, I don't want to like burn the tops of the bread, man. So I'm hoping this can get done here. But I checked it with a knife and it's still coming out goopy. I'm gonna give it 8 more minutes. This is the part in the video, of course, we're gonna like. I don't care about him eating spicy food. He does that all the time. I want to see the bread. Oh yeah, I gotta record it. Otherwise, it ain't gonna, you know. I mean, I don't want it to be stupid gooey in the middle, you know. But it's not burnt on the top, so we're good. We're Gucci. Checking in about 7 minutes. It should be done or less, hopefully. Yeah. I don't want to sit there and poke at it and then it's gooey and no. You basically bake it till it comes out toothpick clean. It's, you know. Come on, damn it. And there's like a bazillion different hot sauces to try. Of various spicy levels. I can get rid of that Pipe Thoughts video I made earlier on my desktop. It's already uploaded. Hoo-wee. I can definitely feel the heat in my stomach from that hot sauce. And in the back of my throat, like right here. So it's definitely got a little bit of stink on it. I mean, that hot sauce is definitely nothing to sneeze at. For someone who likes spicy food a lot, that definitely, yeah, a couple drops of that cleared out your sinuses real nicely. And the logo kicks ass too. But, yeah. But you gotta be careful with hot sauce, YouTube, because it can burn. You get that in your eyes. Oh, wee. I can tell you right now, it's definitely not a hot sauce I'd want in my eyes. Just based off of a couple drops of it getting on my tongue, I'm like, yeah, no. But as I'm sitting there sticking the fork in it every so often, it's getting less and less gooey. And eventually it'll come out where it's just pretty much clean. And that's when we'll get it out and dig into it and eat it. I got 2 minutes left. Let's see how it's looking. Ooh. That's looking pretty good. I want to let that finish cooking for the last 2 minutes and then pull it out of the oven, YouTube. That's coming out real nice and clean. See, it's getting a lot cleaner than it was. Twenty-three, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 15, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So here's what the ice cream bread turned out. Not too shabby. It definitely smells really good. Now, using butter on the side of the bread pan was a good call on YouTube because it's going to make getting this loaf of delicious homemade ice cream bread easy as pie to take out. Now the bread loaf looks about the size of one of my purple plates here, so now look how clean the pan is after I put it on top of the plate. You see what I'm saying, YouTube? That's why you want to use butter or cooking spray when baking with a baking dish. Alright, so I flipped it back right side over, and here is this loaf of holiday bread. The finished product right there. And you look at the outside of it, and it literally looks like bread crust. So I didn't stick it in there for too long, and I didn't undercook it. I cut a slice off real quick. Come on. Oh man, look at this. Oh, YouTube. I cut into that and the steam coming off of that. Look at that, YouTube. Isn't that nice? Oh, yeah. So, it was a long cooking video, but totally worth the wait. Now, when this cools off, you'll be able to cut it into more easy to serve slices. I mean, you could eat it fresh out of the oven as is, nice and hot, or you can eat it cold. But that's what all the chocolate chips from the ice cream melted into it, and you can see the inside of it has formed a nice bread consistency. Let's see how I do. Yeah. Yeah. It definitely tastes like bread, but then you get the flavors from the brown sugar, the mint ice cream, the eggnog, and the chocolate chips. It's alright. It doesn't taste bad. You know, I've certainly had worse. Want me to be brutally honest. I mean, it tastes good, easy to make. That's gonna weird you out because you're gonna see bread and you think, oh, it's bread. You know, the um, the mint ice cream and the eggnog definitely throw you off a little bit because you're because your brain says this is bread, but you take a bite of it and you taste all the ingredients you put into it. So yeah, this bread's pretty good. Um, it took a while to bake and have it come out nice and clean, but I mean that's basically what you're looking for when you make a decent ice cream bread. You want it to come out nice and clean like that. See how it's all doughy in the middle. See what I'm saying? Yeah. So you get this nice light golden brown crust on the outside, and then you get the doughy goodness on the inside. Hmm. Not too shabby, YouTube. So what I'm going to do is maybe cut another slice off for later, and set this in the fridge to cool off a bit. So then when I go to slice off 2 big slices of this for a crazy hamburger recipe. Mm. Yep, that's certainly very interesting. Here's that dough in the middle of that bread, baked all the way through, nice, chewy, and squishy. Mm. Okay, so yeah, I said I was gonna save the slice for later, but I'm clearly eating some of it right now. So much for yeah. I mean, for me, it's passable. You know, I mean, I can't speak for everybody. This was um, this was an idea I had for a little holiday dessert type deal. You know, um, but well, it doesn't taste bad. You know, so anyways, it's or I could just be hungry. One of the two. Mm. Maybe you pour like less dough into your um, container. If I was to put that into like 2 bread containers, I probably could have made 2 smaller loaves that were not as, you know, but that's not bad. It definitely cooled my mouth off after eating that spicy hot sauce. Mm. Ah, but there you go. There's some holiday ice cream bread. A little holiday inspired dish that's real simple, doesn't take a whole lot. Mm. Yeah, so much for saving the second piece for later. Well, that's really cool because the chocolate chips from the ice cream have literally melted on the inside all over the bread. Like right there, you can see that the chocolate chips have melted on the inside all over the bread, just like that. Which, that's a nice touch. I mean, yeah. This is definitely something you don't want to eat if you're on a diet. Because this has got 3 to 4 somewhat unhealthy things. Mint chocolate chip ice cream, flour, eggnog, brown sugar, and all that butter that baked into the side when I poured it in there to keep it from sticking. I don't know, 5 things, but mm. But there you go. I mean, it got a little crispy on one side, but on the other side, not too bad. Yeah, like okay, yeah, this doesn't taste too bad. I'm not gonna like hype it up to be the greatest thing on the planet, but if you wanna easy as piss to make dessert, there you go. Saw how easy that was to make. I'll put this in the fridge. Oh, there you have it, YouTube, back at you with a cooking video. It's literally almost 2 hours long, but man. Hmm. Yeah, that bread was actually pretty good, but I don't know. It's an acquired taste because you'll taste the flour and then it kind of comes off as meh, and then you give it a second, and then yeah. Easy enough to make. It's not that difficult. Yeah. Of course, ice cream bread's been around for like ages. It's an old ass recipe. But there you have it. It's not that difficult to make. Try some spicy food along the way while he waited patiently for it to get done baking. With spicy food, well, yeah, the hot sauce. Yeah. Anyways, thank you for watching this long cooking video. And I'll catch you cool cobras later.